Close your eyes and imagine a world where the constant hum of traffic is replaced by the whispering wind through ancient pines. Imagine a place where neighbors still greet each other by name and the architecture tells a story centuries old. America is often defined by its sprawling metropolises, the neon lights of New York, or the concrete jungles of LA. But the true soul of this nation doesn't live in a skyscraper. It lives in the quiet corners, in the main streets lined with flower boxes, and in the small towns that feel like a warm embrace. Today we aren't just going on a trip, we are going on an odyssey. From the rugged cliffs of the Atlantic to the sun-drenched deserts of the Southwest, we have curated a list of the 10 most breathtakingly beautiful small towns in the United States. We will dive deep into their history, uncover the secrets only locals know, and show you views that will make your heart skip a beat. Whether you're a digital nomad looking for a new home or a traveler seeking a weekend escape, these towns are the pinnacle of American charm. Let's begin our journey. Number 10. Bar Harbor, Maine. Bar Harbor is the crown jewel of Mount Desert Island. It's where the mountains meet the sea. The air here smells of salt and pine, a combination that instantly clears the mind. For decades, this was the summer playground for the elite, the Rockefellers and Vanderbilts, and you can still feel that Gilded Age elegance in the sprawling cottages that line the shore. We start at Acadia National Park. This isn't just a park, it's a 47,000-acre masterpiece. Talk about Cadillac Mountain, the first place in the US to see the sunrise during certain months. Imagine standing there at 4:00 a.m., wrapped in a blanket, as the sky turns from violet to a burning orange over the Atlantic. Don't just stay in the town center. Take the shore path, built in 1880. It's a winding walkway that gives you a backdoor view of the most expensive estates in Maine. And food, you cannot mention Bar Harbor without the lobster bake. We're talking about fresh-caught lobster, steamed in seaweed, served with corn and blueberry pie. It's not just a meal, it's a Maine ritual. Number 9. Sedona, Arizona. If Bar Harbor is blue and green, Sedona is a fiery red. There is a spiritual energy here that people call vortexes. Whether you believe in the mystical or not, you cannot deny the physical beauty. The rocks look like they were sculpted by giants. Focus on Cathedral Rock and Bell Rock. These aren't just hills, they are geological wonders that glow neon red at sunset. The town of Sedona itself is an artist's colony. In the Tlaquepaque Arts and Shopping Village, the cobblestone paths and arched entryways make you feel like you've been transporting to an old Mexican village. For the thrill seekers, the Pink Jeep Tour are legendary. You'll be bouncing over broken rock and climbing 45-degree inclines. It's a heart-pounding way to see the backcountry of the Coconino National Forest. Sedona teaches you that the desert isn't a wasteland, it's a vibrant, living gallery of color. Number 8. Leavenworth, Washington. This is perhaps the most unique town on our list. Imagine a German village from the heart of the Alps, but dropped into the middle of the Cascade Mountains in Washington state. Every building, even the local Starbucks and McDonald's, is built in the Bavarian style. In the 1960s, Leavenworth was a dying logging town. The locals made a desperate, brilliant gamble. They decided to remodel the entire town to look like Germany to attract tourists. It worked. Today, it's a year-round festival. In the winter, Leavenworth becomes the Village of Lights. Over 500,000 lights cover the trees. You can go on horse-drawn sleigh rides, drink mulled wine, glühwein, and visit the Nutcracker Museum, which houses over 7,000 nutcrackers. It is the closest thing to living inside a Christmas card. Number 7. Telluride, Colorado. Telluride is not just a town, it is a geological miracle. Located at an elevation of 8,750 feet, it is surrounded on 3 sides by 14,000-foot peaks. In the late 1800s, Telluride was a wild, lawless mining camp. It was so rich in silver and gold that it attracted the most daring outlaws in history. Did you know that Butch Cassidy robbed his very first bank right here in Telluride in 1889? He walked away with $24,000, which was a fortune back then. Today, the town has traded its pickaxes for skis, but that Wild West, spirit still echoes in the brick buildings along Colorado Avenue. As you walk down the main street, you'll notice that Telluride is a National Historic Landmark district. The colorful Victorian-era houses, with their gingerbread trim and steep gables, look exactly as they did a century ago. But don't let the old-fashioned looks fool you. The interiors are some of the most luxurious mountain homes in the world. One of the most incredible things about Telluride, and something that sets it apart from every other town in America, is its transportation. Forget Uber, here you take the gondola. It is the only free public transportation of its kind in the US. It connects the historic town of Telluride to the modern, European-style mountain village. As the gondola cabin rises over the ridge, you get a 360-degree view of the San Juan Alps. In the fall, the aspen trees turn a brilliant, shimmering gold that looks like the mountains themselves are made of sunbeams. At the end of the canyon sits the majestic Bridal Veil Falls. At 365 feet, it is the tallest free-falling waterfall in Colorado. Perched precariously at the very top of the cliff is a historic White House, an old hydroelectric power plant. It looks like a scene from a fantasy movie. Whether you hike, bike, or take a 4x4 Jeep up the switchback trails, the mist from the falls on your face is a reminder of the raw power of the American West. Number 6. Carmel-by-the-Sea, California. If Telluride is rugged and grand, Carmel-by-the-Sea is delicate and poetic. Located on the Monterey Peninsula, this 1 square mile village is unlike any other place on Earth. It was founded as an artists' colony after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Artists, poets, and actors flocked here to live a simple life by the sea. To this day, the town has no street addresses, no mail delivery to houses, everyone goes to the post office to gossip, and no street lights. Why? Because the residents want to see the stars at night. The real magic of Carmel lies in its architecture. In the 1920s, a builder named Hugh Comstock designed a tiny cottage called Hansel for his wife's handmade dolls. It looked like something out of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale: crooked chimneys, shingle roofs that sag like they are made of moss, and tiny arched windows. Soon, everyone wanted one. Today, as you walk through the residential streets, you feel like you are walking through a storybook. Every garden is overflowing with lavender, roses, and succulents. The town leads directly to Carmel Beach, a crescent of sand so white it almost glows. The wind-sculpted Monterey cypress trees lean over the water, their twisted trunks telling stories of 1,000 storms. Just a short drive away is the famous 17-mile drive, where you can see the lone cypress, a tree that has stood on a granite pedestal over the Pacific for over 250 years. It is one of the most photographed trees in the world. Fun fact, Carmel is widely considered the most dog-friendly town in America. This tradition was popularized by legendary actress and former Mayor Doris Day. You'll see dogs in boutiques, sitting by fireplaces in restaurants, and running off-leash on the beach. It's a place that celebrates the slower, kinder side of life. Number 5. Stowe, Vermont. When people close their eyes and imagine small-town America, they are usually imagining Stowe. Nestled in the shadow of Mount Mansfield, the highest peak in Vermont, Stowe is the ski capital of the East, but it is perhaps most famous for its leaf-peeping season. In early October, the entire landscape explodes into shades of crimson, burnt orange, and bright yellow. It's a color palette so intense that no camera can truly capture it. There is a piece of European history hidden in these hills. Have you ever seen the movie The Sound of Music? After the real Von Trapp family fled Austria during World War II, they searched for a place in America that reminded them of the Alps. They chose Stowe. Today, you can stay at the Trapp family lodge, which is still operated by the descendants of Maria and Baron von Trapp. The lodge offers stunning views, Austrian cuisine, and a feeling of the hills are alive. No trip to Stowe is complete without visiting its historic covered bridges. The Gold Brook Covered Bridge, also known as Emily's Bridge, is the most famous. Local legend says it's haunted, but most visitors find it incredibly romantic. These bridges were built in the 1800s to protect the wooden trusses from the harsh Vermont winters. Today, they serve as gateways to the past. Stowe is a paradise for foodies. You can visit the cold hollow cider mill, where the air smells of pressed apples and cinnamon donuts. You can watch maple syrup being boiled in sugar shacks and taste Vermont cheddar cheese that has been aged to perfection. It is a town that tastes as good as it looks. Number 4. Beaufort, South Carolina. Welcome to the Queen of the Sea Islands. Beaufort, pronounced Beaufort, isn't just a town, it's a living museum of the Old South. Established in 1711, it is the second oldest city in South Carolina, but it doesn't feel old in a dusty way, it feels timeless. Here, the pace of life is dictated by the tides. The air is thick with the scent of salt water, blooming jasmine, and slow-cooked barbecue. Beaufort is famous for its antebellum architecture. Unlike many southern towns, Beaufort was occupied by Union troops during the Civil War, which actually saved its magnificent mansions from being burned. As you walk through the Old Point National Historic Landmark District, you'll see Beaufort-style houses with massive wraparound porches designed to catch the sea breeze. These homes have seen centuries of history, and if walls could talk, they'd tell stories of cotton kings, legendary parties, and the resilient Gullah culture. If this town looks familiar, it's because Hollywood loves it. The moss-draped streets provided the backdrop for cinematic masterpieces like Forrest Gump, The Prince of Tides, and The Great Santini. You can sit on the same bench where Forrest told his story or visit the marshes where Pat Conroy found his inspiration. To truly understand Beaufort, you must learn about the Gullah Geechee people. Descendants of enslaved West Africans, the Gullah people preserved their language, crafts, and soul food recipes due to the isolation of the Sea Islands. Visiting the Penn Center is a must. It was one of the first schools in the country for freed slaves and served as a retreat for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while he drafted his "I Have a Dream" speech. Number 3. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. If God were a sculptor, the Grand Tetons would be his masterpiece. There are no foothills here, the mountains simply erupt from the earth, reaching for the stars. Jackson Hole is the valley that sits at their feet, a place where the cowboys of the past meet the adventurers of the future. In the heart of the town lies the famous town square. At each of its 4 corners stands a massive archway made entirely of elk antlers. Don't worry, no elk were harmed. Every winter, thousands of elk migrate to the National Elk Refuge nearby and naturally shed their antlers, which Boy Scouts then collect. It's a symbol of the town's deep connection to wildlife. Whether it's the world-class skiing at Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, home to the terrifying Corbett's Couloir, or hiking the trails of Grand Tetons National Park, this is a place for people who love the rugged outdoors. In the summer, you can whitewater raft down the Snake River. In the winter, you can take a horse-drawn sleigh through a field of thousands of elk. At night, the town comes alive at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. Here, the bar stools are made of real saddles, and the floor is scuffed by the boots of locals and celebrities alike. It's a place where you can feel the true spirit of the American frontier, untamed, beautiful, and endlessly free. Number 2. St. Augustine, Florida. Forget the Pilgrims for a moment. Long before the Mayflower landed, the Spanish had already built a thriving city in Florida. Founded in 1565 by Pedro Menéndez de Avilés, St. Augustine is the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the United States. Walking through these streets feels like walking through a coastal village in Spain. The town's guardian is the Castillo de San Marcos, a star-shaped fortress built of coquina, a unique stone made of compressed seashells. This fort was indestructible. During sieges, cannonballs would literally bounce off the walls or get buried in the spongy stone without cracking it. Today, you can watch soldiers in colonial uniforms fire massive cannons over the bay. Legend says that Ponce de Leon discovered the fountain of youth right here. Whether the water actually keeps you young is a mystery, but the park itself is stunning, filled with wild peacocks and ancient oaks. This is the pedestrian heart of the city. It's a narrow, cobblestone thoroughfare lined with chocolate shops, boutiques, and haunted taverns. Because of its long history, St. Augustine is often called the most haunted city in America. Taking a ghost tour at night, with only a lantern to guide you through the Spanish colonial alleyways, is an experience you will never forget. Number 1. Mackinac Island, Michigan. We have reached the top of our list. Mackinac Island is not just a destination, it is a state of mind. It is one of the few places on the planet that has successfully paused time. Since 1898, all motor vehicles have been banned. When you step off that ferry, you are stepping into the 19th century. Close your eyes and listen. There is no roar of engines, no honking of horns. Instead, you hear the rhythmic clop 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 of Percheron and Belgian horses. You hear the wind rustling through the lilac bushes and the distant chime of bicycle bells. It is a sensory detox that heals the soul. You cannot talk about Mackinac without talking about the Grand Hotel. Built in 1887, it is the definition of old-world luxury. Its front porch is 660 feet long, the longest in the world, and is lined with hundreds of rocking chairs and 2,500 pounds of red geraniums. Even if you aren't staying there, dressing up for high tea or a 5-course dinner is a ritual that makes you feel like royalty. The best way to see the island is by bicycle. The 8.2-mile loop around the perimeter takes you past Arch Rock, a natural limestone bridge that towers over the lake, and through forests that smell like cedar and fresh rain. Finally, there is the fudge. Mackinac Island is the fudge capital of the world. There are over a dozen shops where fudge makers rhythmically cream the chocolate on giant marble slabs. The smell follows you everywhere. It's the perfect ending to a journey through the most beautiful towns in America. Final closing. America is a land of contrasts, but its true beauty lies in these small, resilient communities. From the foggy cliffs of Maine to the red deserts of Arizona, and finally to the quiet, horse-drawn streets of Mackinac Island, we have seen that beauty is more than just scenery. It's history, it's culture, and it's the people who call these places home. These towns teach us that we don't always need to go faster. Sometimes, the best way to move forward is to look back. They remind us to appreciate the craft of a hand-built house, the taste of a home-cooked meal, and the silence of a mountain morning. Thank you for joining us on this 8,000-word journey across the heart of America. Which of these towns is calling your name? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, keep dreaming, keep traveling, and keep seeking the beauty in the small things. Goodbye for now.